gentlemen. We're proud to have them. And I also want to thank Jared Moskowitz, our emergency management director. He's been working tirelessly. We're going to have huge amounts of supplies coming in on N95 masks over the next few days. Let me tell you, that's very difficult to get nowadays. There's a worldwide crush on these things because of this virus. So Jared's in the trenches every day trying to get as many supplies for our healthcare workers as we can. And so I really want to thank him for his efforts and thank him for helping with the other test sites. So I'm going to let him come and say a few words, and we'll hear, do we want one of the doctors? Do one of you guys want to say a few words? Okay, so Jared, and then we'll go.
Governor, thank you. Thank you to the University of Florida and to the villages. You know, we've been talking about the villages for several weeks now. In fact, I held a roundtable with all partners around the state 3 weeks ago. The villages, ALFs, nursing homes, when we started to realize that this was a virus that significantly impacted our senior population in a different way. And so it's excellent that this is now happening. Additionally, I want to thank all the staff here at the villages, all the vendors here at the villages, because at the end of the day, by the staff and the vendors here at the villages, by making sure that they take precautions and they go through the screening, that is going to be the best way to prevent COVID-19, the virus, getting into the villages. And so it is individual responsibility, but we're all in this together. So I want to thank them as well. As the governor talked about, what we're working on in the next 48 hours, the state of Florida is working on the largest logistics mission we ever have worked on in state's history, larger than any hurricane logistics mission, whether that's Michael or Irma. This dwarfs that by some fold. We are working logistics 24 hours a day at the warehouse now with the support of the National Guard. We are using both vans, 18-wheelers, and aircraft to move life-saving PPE and collection swabs around the state 24 hours a day. And so the governor just announced, obviously, our latest effort, which is really focusing on our nursing homes and ALFs. But we are constantly pushing things down to county staging sites, filling those critical mission requests so that can go out to the hospitals. We are constantly getting rolls from the hospitals as far as how many days left they have of PPE, what their daily burn rate is, so that we can constantly keep them ahead of any emergent situation. So we have 7 million N95 masks on order. I expect to see the largest shipment of that come in on the 21st with the first million. We have 5 million procedural masks on order. Those are coming in several hundred thousands. We got about 400,000 in yesterday. I expect the first million, one big order coming in also on the 28th. And so we are turning the page on PPE. So that is good news for the state of Florida. We are also working with vendors on ventilators and the federal government to make sure that we have the required number of ventilators that could possibly need to be used in the state of Florida. So we have started pre-positioning a lot of those ventilators across the state, and we are receiving ventilators literally off the assembly line directly from the manufacturers, as well as getting ventilators pushed to us from the federal government. So we thank our federal partners for their help with that. We have field hospitals that we've deployed all over the state of Florida. One is on its way to Dade County, one is on its way to Jacksonville. One actually is not too far from the villages that's already pre-staged, and then one is in Broward County, which is actually being assembled as we speak and should be up and running in the next couple of days. Right now we don't see a need for folks to be going to a field hospital, but we want to have that up and running. And so we're helping to operate those with over 300 nurses that we have on contracts, as well as our 300 medics in the National Guard. And so I want to thank the National Guard and the General for all of their efforts. You know, listen, this is a virus that, you know, significantly impacts our seniors who are in their golden years in a dramatic way. And so, you know, while it doesn't seem fair to them that this is happening, and a lot of the rules and regulations and guidance that is being put out may seem to be without compassion, it's with compassion, which is why the governor is putting those guidance and those requirements in place. because that right now is the best way to protect our senior population, which is to social distance from them, which is to go through the screening. So if we can continue to do that, it's going to take everybody. We've been messaging to younger people for the last several weeks now about social distancing, and that there's feedback out there that COVID ruined their.
All right, we apologize. We